A father's agony. Tragedy in Ogidi. From laughter to silence, from joy to grief, Ogidi weeps for its lost children.
Like the whole 5 children is dead. From the beginning to the end, it's just only one that is remaining that is not really with them. So, with the little information I've actually gotten now, this woman might actually be the second wife.
Yeah.
Because I heard like the husband is 80 years old or something like that.
79 years old.
79 years old.
A devastating tragedy has befallen the family of Pa Robinson Arinze Aghalu, a 79-year-old retired soldier and father from Ogidi in Idemili North local government area of Anambra State. In a space of just 72 heartbreaking hours, this once lively household lost 5 of its 6 children, leaving a trail of sorrow, unanswered questions, and a father now clinging to what remains of his world, one critically ill wife and a surviving daughter. What began as a peaceful Saturday evening on May 3rd, 2025, echoing with the laughter of children, soon spiraled into a nightmare no parent should ever have to endure. When Diaspora Digital Media (DDM), led by Elder Chekube Okwonu, arrived at the home of Pa Arinze, the air was thick with sorrow. Grief hung heavy over the compound like a storm cloud refusing to pass. Friends and relatives stood around in stunned silence. Women whispered quietly amongst themselves, some with red, tear-soaked eyes. Men stood in scattered clusters, arms folded, eyes distant, helpless, heartbroken. Amid this haunting scene, Pa Arinze, with a trembling voice and a heart barely holding together, summoned the strength to recount his harrowing ordeal. It all began Saturday night, he said. The children were playing football in front of the compound. They were laughing, teasing each other. My youngest, a girl, was the goalkeeper. He recounted how their mother had prepared dinner for the family. Simple, familiar food. As they ate, he noticed something strange. The children didn't eat as much as usual. Hours later, the nightmare began. Between 10 and 11 p.m., they started complaining of stomach aches. The youngest was groaning in pain. She began to vomit. We tried everything: olive oil, holy water, prayers. She calmed down briefly, and we all went to bed, though we remained watchful. But the calm was deceptive. At around 2 a.m., the little girl started vomiting again, this time a black substance. As her strength faded, she took her final breath beside her father's bed. Too shocked to awaken his wife, Pa Arinze held his pain until he could no longer conceal the loss. Then, as if in a relentless storm, the other children began falling ill, one after the other. The family rushed the children to a nearby maternity clinic. Oluebube, the eldest daughter, ran errands helping her younger siblings. But things spiraled. The first son started bleeding from his nose and ears. 2 of the children died at the hospital. With little time and rising fear, the rest were moved to Iyenu Mission Hospital, then to Crown Hospital as the situation worsened. I don't know where the money came from, Pa Arinze said with tears. People around me, strangers, friends, brought money. We were billed over 600,000 naira. God bless everyone who helped. I had nothing. At Crown Hospital, Oluebube and her brother also passed away. Their mother too had fallen critically ill from the same symptoms and was fighting for her life. Pa Arinze, who had once lost a wife without bearing children, finally found joy and family with his second wife, who bore him 6 children. But now, only one of them, who was away studying with a relative, survives. 5 precious lives are gone, and his wife remains in the hospital, struggling to survive. The DDM crew visited Crown Hospital, where they met a relative who, too grief-stricken to speak on camera, confirmed that the mother's condition had stabilized. Dr. Ogidi, who is managing her case, also declined to go on record, but shared cautiously that the likely cause was food poisoning.
And what did you say might be the cause of this death?
We can't really say unless autopsies being performed. Forensic medicine really need to just intervene to tell us the actual problem.
Is there any likelihood of food poisoning?
That's the only suspicion we are really just having. But from the history, it's not really clear yet.
Okay.
Because when we interacted with the mother, she wasn't even giving us some specific answers. Maybe based on somebody that lost.
Though only an autopsy can confirm this. He emphasized that the mother's vitals were stable and he remained hopeful for her recovery.
Because some information that she's giving us.
What do you think is the recovery rate of this woman? Is there any hope of recovery or
Yes.
survival?
Yes, she's actually here with us. She's very stable right now. Her vital signs are really very okay now. Okay, so we are trying to monitor her closely. But definitely, she's very depressed.
Yeah.
Very, very depressed.
It's expected.
Very depressed.
Back at home, neighbors and sympathizers shared memories of the children. They were inseparable. They walked together, played together, even worked together, one woman said. They adored their father. You could see it in their eyes whenever he called. Now, those eyes are closed, their voices silenced. Diaspora Digital Media is calling on well-meaning Nigerians, kind-hearted souls, and anyone moved by this tragedy to come to the aid of Pa Robinson Arinze Aghalu. This is a man who once served his country in uniform, now reduced to a life of quiet sorrow and financial helplessness, with only the hope that his wife will pull through and that his one surviving child will carry forward the legacy of the siblings lost too soon. You can send support to Access Bank PLC, account name Robinson Arinze Aghalu, account number 001-987-1346. Let us as a people show love in action and wrap this man and his surviving family in the arms of our collective humanity. To the 5 angels gone too soon, may your souls rest in eternal peace. May your laughter echo in heaven, and may your brief lives on earth never be forgotten. This is a clarion call from Diaspora Digital Media. We see you, Pa Arinze, and we stand with you. Reporting by Ugochukwu Chukwu for Diaspora Digital Media.